Now that we've talked about how a card is properly held in palm position from the tip of the little finger across to the base of the thumb, there's some things that we must remember to do and things we must remember not to do when we're actually making the palm. In other words, when the hands approach the deck, they must approach at the proper angle to execute the palm. And then the deck is covered for the shortest possible time. In other words, you don't hold the pack like this and reach in and execute the palm this way, nor do you dip down to pick up the card as it comes from the deck, or make a clockwise twisting of the wrist as the hand comes in to pick up the card. The hand approaches the pack, makes a slight squaring motion, and places the cards down in a perfectly natural manner so that it's executed without being seen. Now, I said a moment ago, when a card is actually palmed, you must avoid dipping down or making a clockwise motion to palm the card. Instead, the card goes to the hand, from the pack to the hand, and the right hand should remain as motionless as possible. Now, as strange as this may seem, one of the biggest problems that people have at this stage, they'll either expose the card between the little finger and the third finger, or between the index finger and the second finger. The fingers must be held tightly together so that when the card is palmed, the cards can be placed down on the table in a natural manner and the posture of the hand looks normal. You know, it goes without saying that it takes a certain amount of audacity to reach over and palm a card off the deck and reach into your pocket and take it out. But if you hesitate, when the hand comes over and palms the card, if the cards are placed down and there's any hesitation in the hand moving back in the door, if the hand moves back slowly, it completely destroys the illusion. In other words, if you take the cards, palm the card, place it down, come to the edge of the table stall, open your jacket and reach in, I can assure you you can get away with that. But it's disastrous for the hand to freeze at the edge of the table, because if it's there for any length of time, people realize the hand isn't used. That also applies if you're standing. If the hand drops to the side, if it drops normally and naturally, and the hand freezes at the hip and doesn't move back to pull up the sleeve or to do some small gesture before you reveal a card from your pocket, I can assure you, you'll never get away with it. Now, as we go through some of these palms, I'm going to remind you of some of the do's and the don'ts that we spoke about a few moments ago. But one of the easiest and simplest palms to perform is described in Erdnase legerdemain section in one sentence. All you do is make a squaring motion of the cards and place the cards on the table, and you palm the top card into the right hand. Now, when I say this is very simple, all you do is hold the cards in dealing position. You push the card to the right with your left thumb. The right hand little finger makes a downward pressure on the card, and when the thumb is released, the card springs into the palm of the hand. From beneath, it looks like this. The card is pushed over, a downward pressure, the thumb is released, and the card springs into the right hand. Now, another way of doing this is to push the card over just as before, about 3/4 of an inch, but the second and third finger just push the card up into the palm, which eliminates some of the downward pressure, which is a method that I prefer between the two. And that's a very simple palm that's described in Erdnase. All you do is push the card straight off with the left thumb. Under cover of the right hand, the card is pushed off. The little finger presses down. When the thumb releases the card, it springs right up into the palm, and finish with a squaring motion by taking cards and placing them down like this, and the card is held in palm. Don't forget to press the card down this way and hold it so that the back of the hand has a good posture. And I'll do that once more. The card is pushed straight off with the left thumb. The right little finger presses down, the thumb releases, and the cards are squared and placed on the table. Now, the Vernon top palm looks like this. Now, that palm is very similar to the one that we did just a few moments ago. The cards are held in dealing position, and the left thumb pushes the top card off. The deck is gripped between the second finger and thumb of the right hand. As the top card is pushed off, it pivots, it's pushed forward and pivots around the second finger. It puts it in a more desirable position for a downward pressure. Now, the moment the thumb releases the cards are brought to the fingertips of the left hand and then placed onto the tabletop like that. Now, I'll do that again from beneath. It looks like this. The top card is pushed off, pushed forward, and pivots counterclockwise, a downward pressure of the little finger, and as the thumb releases the card, they are instantly brought to the tips of the fingers and then placed on the table in that manner. And that's the Vernon top palm, and sometimes called topping the deck. Now I'm going to do this very slowly so you can see the difference between the Vernon top palm and the simple Erdnase palm. The cards are gripped between the thumb and the second finger. The left thumb pushes forward to cause the card to pivot around the second finger. The little finger of the right hand presses down. Now, as the left hand moves to the edge of the cards, it releases that card and it springs right into palm position. Remember, the right thumb doesn't move at all. It locks down at the back of the deck. And as the hand leaves the pack, remember, press the card in this way so the hand takes on a nice posture.